a little used to the rain here on Saturdays in southern New England. In fact, when you look at all the wet weekends we've had so far in June, all the weekends have featured some sort of precipitation. Luckily today, it was not a whole lot. In fact, we just picked up a few hundredths of an inch within Boston. Higher rain totals the farther north that you went. For most of us, it was just a day that we saw a lot of that cloud cover and even areas of fog. That's what we're seeing right now. Radar and satellite, we're not tracking anything. Any of the showers continue to be off to our west, flashes of lightning and rumbles of thunder across New York State, but we are going to remain dry through the overnight. What we are going to continue to have, though, is that fog, and it continues to redevelop in some spots. So some of the thickest fog has set up across Beverly, down across the Cape and the islands. Lowest visibility can be found across Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket at a half a mile and under there. Visibility at about a mile and a half within the city. How about those temperatures? It's cool out there. You'll want the jacket if you're headed out for any of your Saturday night plans. 64 in Boston, 67 in Worcester, and it's currently 70 in Norwood. Dew points, a tad bit muggy out there, and we're going to hold on to just a hint of mugginess into tomorrow. Here's what's going to happen. Temperatures pretty much staying in the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees for a lot of us through the overnight as we continue to have this warm front that's going to move across northern New England, and then into Sunday. It's going to be a warm one with temperatures in the upper 80s with a whole lot of sunshine, but that's not even the peak of our heat. I'll let you know when that arrives ahead.
That's for sure.
And we get the sunshine back for tomorrow. So it's 50-50 this weekend. Cool, a lot of clouds today, but still decent to get outside. And then tomorrow, if you like the warmth, that is back for you. And I think we all root for the sunshine. How about this week, though? We had that heat wave earlier in Boston starting last Sunday. And then that record, one of our all-time record high temperatures in Boston. And then we took a dip with our temperatures into the 70s and 60s. Actually, 69 for the high for today. But we'll take you back up tomorrow, and we'll get back into the 80s. We look at radar and satellite out there. We're not tracking anything, at least in our region. You can see some showers and storms that are across New York State. This is all ahead of a cold front. What we've had here today is we've had this warm front that's just been draped across southern New England. If you are on the northern fringe of it, you are on the cooler side of things. Southern end, that's where temperatures got a little bit more mild, but we all kept the cloud cover around with that front nearby and didn't have a whole lot in the way of wind. Out ahead of the cold front, that's where you're seeing some of those showers and storms, but as any activity continues to move east, it's going to continue to fall apart. So we're really just talking about the fog through the overnight. How about those temperatures? It's cool out there, especially the farther you are north within the Merrimack Valley and parts of the North Shore. 64, the magic number, Lawrence, Nashua, Bedford, and Boston. 70, Norwood, down to Plymouth as well. And there hasn't been a whole lot of wind near that front, so that has been nice. It's just been a comfortable overall day, not too muggy out there. Future forecast shows that through the overnight, we are going to continue to have that fog that's around, but watch what happens. Once we get closer to sunrise tomorrow, then things are really going to take off. We'll have high pressure that's off to our west. We'll have a northwest wind, that drying wind, and that's just going to help to get rid of some of this cloud cover. You can see by 9 a.m. most of us already into sunshine. Clouds are going to clear a little bit slower across areas of the Cape and the islands, but we all get into that sunshine before the day is done by tomorrow. Through the overnight, there's your areas of fog. Temperatures are generally going to be in the 60s, right near 70 degrees. I don't think we're moving all that much from where our temperatures currently stand. But then once we get into that sunshine tomorrow, it's just going to take off with our temperatures. We're going to be in the mid to upper 80s for a lot of spots inland. And I think tomorrow with that sunshine, you have the opportunity to overachieve, especially for areas down across southeast Mass that tend to get a little bit more mild, including Attleboro and Norwood. So upper 80s across the board within Metro West, low to mid 80s within Worcester County. And along the coast, I think we're talking about a lot of low 80s across the South Shore and the North Shore, 70s near 80 degrees across the Cape and the islands. With all that sunshine, UV index, it is running very high tomorrow, so it only takes about 15 minutes to get a sunburn tomorrow. Taking a closer look at our beach forecast tomorrow, the waters across Buzzards Bay and across the southern edge of the Cape in the upper 60s, across the Bayside and across the North Shore, temperatures in the low 60s. So if you're traveling to Maine, beaches in the low 80s. We travel a little bit farther down to the south. Revere Beach, Nantasket Beach in the low 80s. You'll have a northwest wind that might have some localized sea breezes develop along the coast by tomorrow afternoon, and upper 70s, low 80s across the Cape. A comfortable 73 for Surfside Beach. Dew point trend. We keep the mugginess around the next couple of days, and it's really going to peak with tropical air come Tuesday, and that's going to fuel the threat for some storms. The heat, though, that peaks on Monday, and it looks like we could stay near 90 degrees for a majority of the week. Upper 80s near 90 through Thursday. 4th of July looks nice.